Welcome back to Parents Corner. Today we're moving on in the Beatitudes. We're going on to Matthew chapter 5, verse 5. Blessed are the meek, for they will inherit the earth. I think this lesson really piggybacks nicely onto last week's lesson about those who mourn, because just like mourning or crying, meekness is often seen as a sign of weakness. No rhyming intended there, but especially in our culture. I remember in high school, I'd go to basketball games and the cheerleaders would be on the sidelines and they'd be going, be aggressive, be aggressive. You know, I do the same thing with my kids. Whenever they go to compete in a martial arts tournament, I'm always giving them the pep talk and I'm like, I don't care who you're sparring, you show no mercy. I don't care if it's a girl, I don't care if she's smaller, I don't care if he's smaller. No mercy, man. And I've seen parents on the sidelines of other activities, soccer games, football games, they're doing the exact same thing that I was doing. And our kids are just surrounded by this idea that they need to fight, sometimes aggressively, to succeed. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that we shouldn't have our kids participating in competitions. I know I'm not going to stop telling my kids to take it. I'm not going to stop saying, you need to take it easy when you're sparring. I'm going to tell them, get them when they're sparring. But the important thing is that we also need to teach our children when it's appropriate to be aggressive and when it's appropriate to be meek. Jesus commands us to love one another. And in this sermon, when he blesses the meek, he's reinforcing that path of love. Being meek doesn't mean you're not strong. In fact, sometimes it takes more strength to be meek than it does to show aggression. Loving others when it's difficult to do that, it takes a lot of strength. I will admit, I have to work on this every single day. And so do our kids. So when we're meek, we're caring for others. When we're meek, we're caring for animals. When we're meek, we care for the earth. Jesus is telling us that loving one another will always be better than hating or destroying. So as parents, we need to find that balance. We can and should still support our kids when they compete. We should help them work towards doing the best that they can. But at the same time, we can and should teach them how to love others. A great example can go right back to the sports analogy I already used and how they treat their competitors before and after the competition, even during the competition. Yes, they should be aggressive, but they should not play dirty. And this good sportsmanship, it's not just limited to sports. Maybe they're going to a quiz bowl, maybe they're doing a science fair, maybe they're competing for a solo in the choir or a medal at a competition of some kind. They can still be fiercely competitive and loving towards their competitor at the same time. And this is something that I think we've lost in some of our adult interactions, especially political interactions, especially on the national political stage. We may be doing better as individuals, but the example that the kids are seeing in the news is not a very good one. And so it's important for us to teach our children early that we can be competitive, we can be aggressive, and we can be kind and loving at the same time. So that's our focus for the week, is learning how to show God's love and kindness in all situations, even when we're competitive.